There she is in her ear. Woo! Caitlin Clark's getting hot on the bench. Tired of you screaming in my ear. Tired of you nagging. Tired of you whining all the damn time. I'm sick of it.
Body language doesn't lie. That moment right there. Caitlin Clark on the bench of her own team getting visibly heated with a veteran teammate. This isn't a one-off frustration boiling over. This is the surface of something that's been building for weeks. And tonight, we're breaking down exactly what it reveals about the Indiana Fever, Stephanie White, and the most valuable player in women's basketball history.
Caitlin Clark's tired of the handcuffs you guys put on her. Caitlin Clark's tired of carrying this team, carrying this offense, and all you guys do is nitpick and nag. 2 + 2 = 4, and then you guys come right behind her and say, no, 2 + 2 = 5. 2 + 2 = 4, ladies. 2 + 2.
That handcuffs reference is the entire story in one word. Throughout this season, the conversation around the Indiana Fever has orbited a single question. Are they actually letting their generational talent play her game? Or are they squeezing a once-in-a-lifetime player into a system that doesn't fit her skill set? Because the evidence on the floor keeps pointing toward the latter. And the frustration we just witnessed isn't coming from nowhere. It's accumulated.
In everything Caitlin Clark does, can't give her any type of credit to the Stephanie White way. Even Greg Popovich gave Tim Duncan credit. Even Bill Belichick would give Tom Brady credit. Even Steve Kerr would give Steph Curry credit, but leave it to good old Methany White. She just can't give Caitlin Clark credit. Caitlin Clark might be waking up and...
The Popovich and Duncan comparison cuts deep for a reason. The Bellick and Brady reference too. Those partnerships didn't work because the coach micromanaged the franchise player. They worked because the coach understood the player was the engine, and the system existed to amplify what the player already did better than anyone else. Steve Curry didn't try to install a slower system because Steph Curry was shooting too quickly. He built the entire offense around how Curry already saw the floor.
If this is how she is on the bench, then I might actually now be convinced that behind the scenes and at practices, it's worse. If this is how she is on the bench, I'm convinced that at practice, this isn't the first time she told them to chill. This isn't the first time she told them, you guys understand that I see the game on a different level than you, right? You guys understand I am thinking more steps ahead than you are, right? Look at this. Get out of my ear, man. Get out of my ear. Get out of my ear.
Now, think about what we're actually watching here. This is a public moment. Cameras are on. Microphones are everywhere. The entire arena is watching. And Clark is still letting her frustration show. If this is what surfaces when she knows the whole league is watching, what does that suggest about the closed-door environment? Practice, film sessions, the locker room before and after games. The pattern of behavior we're witnessing in front of 15,000 fans almost certainly extends behind the scenes. And it likely runs hotter when no cameras are rolling. That's basic human behavior. People hold back in public. When Clark stops holding back in public, something has already cracked in private. Remember that detail. It becomes crucial in a minute.
How about you go right there?
Yeah, go right there.
Go right there.
Get out of here.
I'm tired of back and forth. Every time Caitlin says A, you say B. How about you? Yeah, Caitlin, let's try A. For God's sake, I've never seen you agree with Caitlin Clark on camera.
Never.
Holy, like, God damn, Steph. Like, give us...
It pains you. It pains you to agree with her on camera. It pains with you to agree with her on camera. Cece still shaking her head after the timeout. Look, timeout looking at Stephanie White, shaking her head.
And this is where it gets impossible to wave away as one bad moment. Same game, same coaching staff, different flashpoint. Clark is now shaking her head at Stephanie White during a timeout, then continuing to shake her head after the timeout breaks. So look at the sequence we're building. Bench frustration directed at a veteran teammate. Head-shaking disagreement with a head coach during dead ball stoppage. Continued visible body language as play resumes. These aren't 3 highlights cherry-picked across an entire season. These are three distinct moments inside a single game. The most marketable athlete in the sport's history, openly disagreeing with her coaching staff on the floor, on camera, in front of a packed arena. That doesn't happen by accident, and it doesn't happen without history behind it.
505 people show up yesterday. That means they didn't sell 3,000 tickets. There was probably 5,000 empty seats. They're going to hear us one way or another. They're going to hear us one way or another. Caitlin Clark having some fun with it yesterday. You know she loves her stud buds. But let's take a look over here. Let's take a look at this.
All right, y'all. Good work.
All right, y'all.
And here's where the business reality enters the room. The Fever drew 55 fans to that game. The arena holds more than 17,000. That gap matters. Roughly 3,000 tickets went unsold for a Caitlin Clark home game. 5,000 empty seats in the building. For context, this is a franchise that has built its entire marketing strategy around the single biggest draw in women's basketball history. A player who has personally rewritten league economics from ticket prices to television deals. When even Clark can't fill the building in her own market, the message from the fan base is impossible to misread. They're not just frustrated with losses, they're frustrated with the product on the floor. They're frustrated with how their franchise player is being deployed. And empty seats speak louder than any social media campaign or press release because empty seats show up on the balance sheet.
Get it done, right? It wasn't pretty.
Because of you.
But we found a way. We came out with it.
Because of CC.
When we needed to. We had a 71% assist rate, really good.
Thanks, Caitlin.
Okay, really good. 50 to 30 points in the paint. Okay, that's
Thanks,
good
CC.
stuff. Out rebounded him 38 to 24. Again, good stuff.
Good job, Big Swole and Sophie.
Free throw percentage 100%.
Good job, Caitlin.
So we did enough things to get the win. We know we got to be better.
You
We
got
got to be more consistent.
You got to be better, Stephanie White. You got to be better. You got to be more consistent. Your coaching staff has to be better. Your coaching staff has to be more consistent. Let Caitlin Clark play ball.